Echoheart band, straight out of Maryland. So what I want you guys to do, obviously introduce yourselves individually, starting with the lady, and then we can go on, and then I want y'all to say like who you are, your names, and like what position you have to make up Echoheart band.
Cool. Well, I'll start. I'm Marina. I sing and I do a lot of songwriting, and I do a lot of other stuff behind the scenes too, like social media management, booking, like all that kind of stuff. So I kind of take care of it, and yeah, moving on.
I'm Jacob Amaya. I do the musical instrument writing, I guess. I sing a little.
Jacob is a cool kid.
I know he got the hair that he go. You do this a lot. He does a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to stop. It's hurting my neck.
Jacob is a cool kid.
And I'm Pablo, and I play drums, pretty much. That's what I do in the band.
Nice.
So how long have y'all been making music together?
Coming up on 3 years now.
Okay. Can I say this? Can I say this without a... Y'all are the first like white people we had here, you know. So
that's a lie.
Woo.
We had Kelly Sachs.
Oh, well,
the porn star. We had a
porn star.
Shout out to
Kelly.
y'all.
Kelly Sachs, the porn star.
Is it Kelly?
Yeah. Okay, well y'all.
We're honored.
It is an honor. You know what I'm saying? Soak it in.
Shut the hell up, Sib.
Shut up, Sib. Like he's obviously the one that says everything that comes in his mind.
No, he don't. He just said a bunch of bullshit.
He just doesn't have a
Yo, I can't. You know what I'm saying? It's all love in here. We love white people. You know what I'm saying? I'm
it's
just saying.
It's culture.
We don't have that many white people on here, so we feel special.
You know how I feel about people. I don't see white or black, so that's
shit.
That's on you.
Anyway, so you guys is three. So you guys been together for almost 3 years. How did you guys get started? How did you come up with the name Echoheart Band?
Well, Jacob and I met in high school. We met when we were like juniors in high school, and we just did like some music stuff back then. And then by the time it got to like graduating time, we were like, all right, let's start taking this seriously and like doing it for real. Mm-hmm. We found Pablo. He was still really young, but we were like, he was like 16 when we met him, and we were like 18. And we were like, this guy has promise, so we're just gonna keep on pushing with it. And now we're like touring and doing stuff like that. So it's been good.
So touring wise,
we went to Bethesda Chevy Chase High School.
Okay.
All right. So touring wise, where have you been? And in terms of opening, have you guys opened up for anybody big or?
I don't know if you guys would have really heard, because we play for a lot of like rock bands and stuff. I think one of the bigger ones, we did an album release party for Chin Up Kid from Indianapolis while we were on tour. We haven't really gotten a lot of like opening slots lately for like headlining tours, just because I think Maryland is kind of a really hard scene to break into with that. Like some other scenes are like a lot more open to locals opening for them, but because it's such like a highly populated area, I don't think that headlining artists really need much from local bands, because that's really supposed to be like, oh, the extra 100 people that, you know, they couldn't pull or whatever. But when it comes to a highly populated area like DC, I don't really think a lot of venues are looking for that. So I'm gonna keep plugging for it, but it hasn't quite happened yet.
What genre of music would you describe your music?
Like rock music, like pop rock.
Okay. So who are some of your influences?
Well, I'll go. We're like, Paramore's a big one.
Okay. Sure.
And My Chemical Romance. We're really emo. I also really like, I grew up with a lot of like just female singers, like not a lot of bands when I was a kid, so like Kelly Clarkson, Avril Lavigne, like people like that, you know, Christina Aguilera, so Demi Lovato, Queen. So
she's Queen.
She's Queen.
She's Queen.
So move it along.
I listen to a lot of Wilco, and that kind of influences how I write for this band. They're more like alternative than they used to be country, but it doesn't really come across in the music. I just take minor influences and I try and write around.
He's pretty original with his writing. He
Okay.
doesn't really have a ton of influence.
All right.
It's there. It's just buried.
Yeah.
Like Max pointed out, our former bassist pointed out that I have some ska influences, which I didn't even realize.
Yeah, that's true.
You're from, where are you from? You from Maryland?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was born in some hospital right outside of DC.
All right, so y'all got to get a drummer or something. So drummer, who is some of your infos?
Well, honestly, like when I started learning drums and stuff, like my teacher was like getting me on to like rock and stuff because it seemed like that was like more what I was into. So like of course like like the big like punk rock bands like Blink-182. I love Travis Barker.
Travis Barker's beast.
He's the man. I love like all the greats like it's like drummer wise like Thomas Pridgeon, Tony Royster. Like I think they're just like straight killing it.
How you feel about Flea?
Who?
Flea.
Flea, like
From the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah.
He's I think he's good. I mean, he's energetic. I like that. I mean, I don't really pay much attention to him. Yeah, he's a bass player.
He's a bassist. I thought he was a drummer.
Yeah,
who's the drummer?
Chad Smith is the drummer. The guy who
okay,
looked like Will Ferrell.
Okay, so he
He got his. Look at him. Got it all wrong.
I got it wrong. I got it wrong.
Yeah,
I always thought Flea was the drummer.
Yeah, no. Chad Smith's the drummer. He's bomb.
I could be wrong. God damn. Shit, y'all supposed to be on my side.
We are, but you're wrong, so we can't be. It's simple.
So, where did your musical journey started? What got into to playing drums?
Well, I tried to learn guitar when I was younger, and then I was just trying to find something that like I really wanted to get into music, but I didn't really know like what would fit me best, and so I kind of just decided to try it out because I was trying out different things, and I just kind of stuck with it and got really good at it, so just kept doing it,
What's the pleasure and what you get out of music? Is the reaction from the fan? You being on stage, you touring. What is in it for you aside from being creative?
Honestly, I mean, I really just like taking these songs that we've like put a lot of work into and like spreading them at a far reach, which is why we tour. We want to spread our music like all across like a wide area. So
can I pay you to stop making music or stop playing drum? If I had a whole lot of money and said I'm gonna pay the X amount of dollars to stop making music, would you?
Hell no.
So if I give you $1 billion right now, so you look, as long as you live, never play another drum in your life.
Nah.
You would stop?
Nah, this is my passion. This is what I live for.
That's what I'm talking about, cuz.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm selling out.
I was like,
y'all started playing with your shirts off yet? You started taking your shirt off while you started drumming yet?
He definitely yeah.
Sometimes the crowd orders me to.
Is that she said that one time? She just
One time
she shot you down.
One time they did that.
Cause drummers, get a lot of girls. You know what I'm saying?
They do? And we need to hang out.
Yeah, we need to hang out.
Oh my God. Is that true?
You're a drummer. You should know.
I got one girl. It's all good.
That's right. That's right. He got one girl. That's good.
You're not doing bad. You're on your way.
Don't Pablo, don't listen to them. They're terrible influences, both of them.
No, we're
all right, so music wise, do you guys have like a EP out? Like what's new? What's going on in the music scene for Echoheart?
So we had some music out when we first started and stuff, and you first start and everything kind of sucks, and then you just keep going and it gets better and everything. So we have a new EP out that we put out in March. It's called The Way We Were Made, and we toured off that a couple times this year. We had an EP release show in College Park, actually, at Milk Boy Art House, and that was really cool. And then we did a few weekend runs after that in March. We were just playing a bunch of shows in March, and just this June we just got off of 3 weeks of playing shows all across the East Coast and Midwest and all that, which was insane and really fun. And we're really tired. We just got home 3 days ago or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where's the craziest place you played so far?
Probably Indianapolis or maybe Jersey.
Thompson House.
We didn't play Thompson House this year.
Not this year, but I think that's the craziest place we played.
Yeah, that place was weird. And
what made it weird?
It's a Tommy Gun factory. It's a very, very old building. It's hundreds of years old. Lincoln was in that building, and they have signs up that are don't mosh because the floor could break underneath you and crush everybody and die. The building could collapse if you mosh, which we all thought was really funny.
What is your biggest fear when performing?
The what?
Your biggest fear.
When you're performing.
When you're about to perform, what is your biggest fear?
Falling. Yeah, I have really terrible balance. I've definitely fallen on stage. I trip a lot. I fall, and I like dancing on stage and stuff, but sometimes we have these really tiny stages where we have to play on the floor or something, and like we're all really close together, and like the guitarists are like swinging around and stuff, and I'm trying to do my moves, but like, you know, I have to be careful, and I'm really scared of getting whacked in the head with a guitar or falling.
So how's it working with two men?
Oh, they're cool.
You get it? You don't get it?
It was all
You got
kind of
it?
spice behind that question.
Because these two are.
It's all kind of
It's
spice
hard.
and shade.
It's very, very hard.
It's kind of hard, but
Matter of fact,
Hey,
I do
Joy.
it. I work with 4 actually. So how is
Joy,
it just?
Joy, leave her alone.
No, I need some tips. How do you?
headphones. And just do a lot of the work yourself, I guess.
To block us out?
We're really not that
Nah,
bad. Don't
they're
let her
cool.
pay-
They're
don't
fine.
let
They do the stuff that I don't want to do, like lifting the heavy things and sleeping on the floor and like, you know, talking to people I don't want to talk to. I'm just like, ew, this guy's gross. Can you talk to him for me? And they're like, yeah, sure. So they help me out in that kind of stuff. So it's probably a good thing.
They
If I
don't
had a
help
bunch
me.
of girls, everybody would be like, I get the bed. Like, it's pretty chill.
So you're a vocalist,
Yeah.
and do you play any other instrument?
I dabble with
Okay.
like guitar and piano a little, but I'm not like good. Like you see like really good guitarists and pianists, and you're just kind of like, I'm not a guitarist, but like I can like I know enough to like write my own songs on guitar and piano
So you're also a vocalist too, or you just do the songwriting?
a little bit.
You know, you handle the songwriting.
I write a lot of the music.
Okay.
What usually
Like-
happens is I'll write the song and I'll bring it to Marina and she'll write the lyrics. I'll
Okay.
write the drums.
Okay, so when you say you write music, you writing like you mean like
Beat, he's a producer.
the beats and
Yeah.
all that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you play the guitar and
Yeah. I
so
play
you
the
get
guitar.
all the girls too.
And then
You take off your shirt too.
I just have one girl.
He
that's-
got a lot of
that's-
girls. He's too cool, yo.
Yeah. Mhm.
Got the hair.
Yeah, he's too cool. Like, real talk. He just too
You
laid
smoke
back.
weed?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What is that?
Hell yeah, my nigga. Hell yeah, my nigga. Hell yeah.
To find a connection.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It is obvious.
It might not be obvious.
People
you know what I'm saying?
people
You
thought I
never know.
smoked weed before I smoked weed.
Yeah, he might not smoke weed. He might, you know what I'm saying, be
Really? Look at
might-
the guy. Look, what the hell is wrong?
he might what's the name of the
Sip. Really? Look at him.
He might not smoke weed.
He's
weed
cool
just
as
might
hell.
not be his thing. You can't judge
He's
people.
cool as hell. I'm not judging, but he's cool
You
as
would
hell.
never be able to tell I smoke weed like that.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're not cool enough.
He might not smoke weed. He might just be chill.
So what's
he
your,
might be
what's
straight
your,
edge or
what's
something.
your
You know what I'm saying?
setting for writing? Like, do you guys like? Do you smoke weed and then just chill,
No.
or do you just kind of like
I don't really write.
how are these songs? Are they life
I
experiences?
never write under the influence.
Okay.
I pretty much only write sober. We've
Okay.
jammed. It's fun to jam, like when you're high. But
Not what we do.
but yeah, I think we try and switch it up a lot because usually I'll write the music first, as I said, and bring it to Marina. But like some of our favorite songs, The Fade actually, one of our songs.
So, quick question for you. You write the music, so which means you understand music, or do you actually produce the sounds and then give it to her? How does that work? Do you just give her the actual music you write?
He writes the guitar.
Yeah, like I write the guitar and the structure, and then we have a guy we work with, Aaron, who like really helps.
Okay, so yeah, explain that to me, cause so he writes the music.
Yeah.
He give it to you like on a paper. How does this work? Is
We,
it a sound? What?
He'll like write some guitar. We only have one guitarist, which is kind of different for like a rock band. Usually there's a rhythm guitarist and a lead guitarist. And Jacob's writing is unique in that he'll usually like kind of transpose both into one guitar. So he has like a very full sound that also has like an interesting lead to it. And it's really different. It's kind of hard to come across in our genre. And he can bring that to me, and I can usually write lyrics around that. Or sometimes I'll have a hard time writing lyrics to just guitar, and like Pablo will write some like drums around it, and it'll give me a good idea about like what the beat's supposed to sound like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but clear it up for me. When you say write, are they writing it and giving it to you, or are they actually
Yeah.
playing it?
They're just playing it. We don't write down our songs.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, we
okay.
record it like on our.
We record it
phones.
on our phones, and they send it to me voice memo
melody.
style.
Oh, that's what I was trying to get at. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we don't write our music
Yeah,
ever.
I took a class for like music production, like just wasn't my thing.
Right, right.
Business.
Most great musicians they
Can't
can't
read
read
music.
can't read
You
music.
can kind of read music.
I can read, like I did piano for 10 years, so like
You
I
gotta
know all
like
the
learn
theory.
it, and then you gotta throw it away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It got to become just like a natural, just like you writing actual lyrics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It got to come from the soul.
Yeah, I can feel the theory faster than I can like
exactly.
Write it.
Yeah. Nice.
So what are you writing about now? What are your song? What is the climate of your music right now? What are you talking about right now in your music?
So our EP, like, I kind of like to have a theme in what we write, and usually, like, I haven't really gotten to a place where I can write stories, so I'm just kind of writing about my life, and
Isn't your story your life though?
yeah, kind
Your
of.
life
I
a
like
story?
to think my life is a story a little
Yeah.
bit, so like. The way we were made, it's kind of weird. It's sort of just like what I've been going through for the last few years, and just kind of like, you know, we only got out of high school like a couple years ago, and we're like not in college or anything, like not like away at college like all our friends are and stuff. So that was kind of a lot of what I was writing about, and just kind of being like in this weird place of like growing up but like not having like grades to go further to, and kind of stuff like that.
So
So how does
you're
your
a bad kid in
parents-
school?
So,
Huh?
Were you a bad kid in school?
No, I didn't.
We weren't great.
We're in grade school.
so how is your parents responding to you all deciding to take the band route versus going away to school?
Well, Pablo's still taking classes. He's in community college, and like I kind of tried community college for a little bit, and it just like wasn't really my thing. We're all kind of like just sort of exploring our options. Like Jacob takes online classes for music, and like I'm thinking about doing that as well. I haven't like shut out the idea of school. It's just kind of been like I'm so busy with this, and like I've been pursuing this so hard. And
Why do you believe in it so much?
How's your parents responding to that though?
Why do you believe in it so much?
because I think
Answer
we
my
can do
question
it.
first.
I think we can do it.
You didn't even allow her to answer my question.
She did answer your question.
She didn't.
My mom was not stoked. My grandma was not stoked. Like, my family is like Iranian.
Okay.
They're like one of those like you gotta be a doctor kind of families.
Okay.
But like they've chilled out a lot. So like it's kind of just been like, you know, when I was in high school it was always like, why aren't you applying to schools and stuff? And then once I got out of that and like the pressure was kind of off from everybody and it was just sort of like you're on your own, then I was like, finally, like I can make my own choices. So I mean, you can be not happy about it, but like
You're
still
gonna
my
do it.
choice.
Okay.
So, why do you believe in music? So, why do you believe in your band so much?
Because I think we're good. Like he's good. He's good. Like
I feel like I have to answer that for you. She's just got so much drive and passion. Like, I don't think I've ever met someone else who's like been able to work that hard.
Okay.
Like, she's just
Self-driven.
yeah. She's got that fire.
Okay.
And like that's why I believe in us, because like I think the three of us have like a really good sound, and like with the motivation that Marina has, we can just go places.
Would
Dope.
you guys add to the band? Like you said, in a typical band they have 3 guitarists. Would you guys add another one?
Possibly. I'm reluctant to, because I'm very cautious about my writing. Like, I'm very protective
Right.
of it.
Which you should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I be in your band too?
No.
Yeah. He be the
he's like
No.
I definitely can sing.
mascot.
I definitely.
He can be the mascot.
I don't want to be the mascot. Y'all can add a
Teddy bear.
DJ to y'all
Teddy
set.
bear.
Yeah, you can do
We
the.
can vibe out.
You can do the synth.
Yeah, we can vibe
We
out.
got a little
man.
synth in our new stuff.
See, look, see.
So-
I'm trying to get
so
on.
what-
I'm gonna take off my shirt on stage.
Oh Lord. So what are we?
Good
What
God.
are we trying to accomplish though? What is the goal? What are we trying to accomplish? Because, of course, money. Of course, 'cause it's a job. You know. Aside from what are we trying to? What's the goal here?
I want people to know our songs, and I want people to really be like affected by our songs. I
In
want
what
them,
way?
Like when I was in high school, like all I had was music. Like growing up, you know, like I was like 9 years old, like divorced parents, not really know what was going on, and I was like, oh, Pink gets me, like, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
I want it to be like that. I want people to be like, oh, like, you know, she kind of gets
Relatable.
me.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, that kind of helped me a lot. And whenever I hear people be like, oh, that really helped me, like what you wrote about this or whatever, like it just kind of means a lot to me. And I'm like, cool, like I'm not just like working in an office, I'm like kind of affecting people's lives. So
Okay. Dope.
So you
wanna do this.
you named like a couple, you know, singers that have, you know, like really you know, strong but, you know, raspy voices like Pink and the lead singer from Paramore. Would that describe your singing style as well?
somewhat. I mean, I'm kind of a belter and I have more of a rock voice than like a pop voice, but at the same time I take a lot from like Kelly Clarkson and Christina Aguilera. Like I really appreciate the runs and the range. Like I don't really like, I feel like rock vocalists have gotten like lazy and they don't really like to practice technique, and it's something that's really missing from the genre is like any kind of diversity in vocalists. It's all like dudes that sound like punk guys. Like That's all I'm hearing lately.
So it's not a bunch of yelling.
It's not a bunch of yelling. I
Okay.
mean, like, we used to kind of have some heavier stuff, but at this point, like, I've been, like, practicing my vocals so much, and I've kind of narrowed down my technique to, like, sort of, like, a pop flavor with, like, a rock vibe, like, of edginess and, you know.
Can I get a sample? Because I really want to hear that distinction between your rock voice and you belting versus pop Kelly Clarkson.
Okay, like, what song should I sing?
Whatever you decide. I just
Like,
want to hear your
Sing a
voice.
Paramore song.
Do the opening run to A Northern Man.
Oh, I can't do that right now. Probably have to stand back a little bit.
At least have a short pickup range.
Okay. Oh, I never meant to brag, but I got him where I want him now. Oh, never my intention to brag. Steal it all away from you now.
Oh, you are a
Good. Her
belter.
voice filled up the whole goddamn room.
It does. You are like it feels like I felt like it came like from the gut, like from the depths. Whoa!
Pablo, you want to show off some of your, like,
No.
Y'all should have brought the instruments in here and jammed out for a second.
that would have been fun.
Yeah, that'd been fun. You guys definitely come back though.
Yeah,
You
definitely
guys are
gotta come back
dope.
and rock out.
Dang, super.
dope,
So
yeah.
what do you guys have coming up? You guys just came off tour. Do you have anything else coming up, like an end of the summer tour?
No more touring this year. We're broke. Touring costs so much money. It's like one of those things that we like save up for like months and months and months, and then we get to do it and like kind of makes the money, and then a tire blows, and then we make no money. Like,
Oh, you guys seeking management?
like sort of. Like I'm kind of DIY or die. Like until you kind of can't anymore. I'm like open to it, but like
Cause I feel like you guys should be making money. You guys are dope.
yeah, we're getting into the point where we're starting to get better shows locally. We're about to headline at Milk Boy again
Nice,
in a
nice.
couple
Congrats.
weeks. And I think we might be playing Rock and Roll Hotel soon.
Okay.
It's like we haven't gotten an event page for that yet or anything, but that's in the works. Just basically I'm kind of focusing on like our local shows, maybe branching out a little bit for like important shows and stuff, but I'm being a little more selective.
So, when you guys not making music, not smoking, aside from smoking, right?
Smoking takes.
What do
a
you
lot
guys?
of time.
What do you got on a typical day? What is a typical day for you?
Well, let's go around for that. I go to work all the time. I work at a couple bakeries and stuff, making fudge and cookies and stuff, and I do like kids' birthday parties. I babysit. I do a bunch of different stuff, and I do band work. Like I do our booking. I do our planning. Like for the last like year, basically, I've been doing like I was doing a GoFundMe for our EP. There was a lot of that, and like planning our tour for March, planning our tour for June, like planning our release for the EP, like trying to promote it, like doing all that stuff.
Is this all self-taught?
Yeah.
It is. Where did you? Well, never mind. I already know. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just kind of
Finish.
pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of what I do. Just a bunch of work like that.
Okay, Mr. Cool.
Mr. Cool.
Yeah, I do kind of odd jobs just to save up money. Like all of us just want to save up money for touring albums and stuff. I like write all the time. Write for myself, just like non-Echoheart stuff, non-Echoheart stuff. Yeah.
Dope.
Pablo.
My day's pretty much like working all day, like when I'm not touring and
Where do you
writing
work,
with these
Pablo?
guys. I work at my local Target. It's pretty dope. You know, it's pretty fun there. I don't know.
So
it's
you
like-
guys are just regular people outside of
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. We're just
Just out
totally
here grinding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
just grinding, going to
Get
class.
highly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically just working, going to class.
All right, so
Huge.
drop your Instagram. Do you guys have individual Instagrams?
Yes.
So what I'm gonna do, go ahead and drop the band's Instagram and then your individual ones as well.
Our Instagram as well as our Twitter and Facebook is at Echoheart Band. Pretty easy. And mine is Marina Heath Official. You know, just to distinguish from all the unofficial Marina Heaths.
Mr. Cool.
My Instagram is Jacob_Omaya. It's OMMAYA.
Oh Maya.
Yeah.
Jacob's good. Yeah. Jacob, I need to
Mr.
learn
Cool.
a calming technique from you.
Yeah, you gotta change your username to Mr. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, seriously.
Jacob the cool guy.
All right, my Instagram is at Pablo
Escobar.
Hannon.
Don't confuse the people.
That's Hannan.
Do it again, cause Prezi interrupted
I swear,
you.
everybody calls me Mr. Escobar. Like, it's not even
You
funny.
should just run with it. Y'all should just change your names, Mr. Cool,
Escobar.
Mr. Escobar.
I'm gonna just run with it, Mr. Cool, Mr. Escobar.
And Miss self-driven, Miss take over the world.
Nah, that's
No,
That's not as cool,
we don't like.
man.
We don't like that. one.
It's somewhere
we
up
don't
there.
like that. We don't like that. We'll think of that. We'll think of.
Something
one.
dominant.
I don't like his.
Drive
That's
alive.
the one.
there we go.
Drive alive.
Cause she's driving. She's
Alive?
driven.
I don't like that one either. No.
Drive alive.
No, absolutely not. Those.
I could,
Both
you
of
know
those
what?
feel
Sip,
forced.
say something, Sip.
You know,
I'm not gonna say
Say
nothing
something.
because I don't want
But
to force
shut
nothing.
the-
It has to
You
come
can
naturally.
You
like
can.
the
She can
rest.
actually keep hers because the official part makes her like
Very official, you
legit.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cool,
She's
true.
official.
Miss Official.
Official.
Miss Official.
Not
Yeah.
verified. Yuck.
Oh,
You will
Clyde.
be. You will be. You get there.
I'll get verified soon.
All right, so
But-
look, I want to talk about joining this band. Okay, y'all definitely gotta let
Let's
me in.
have a conversation off it.
air.
You're not gonna make it anyway. Thank you guys for
Making
coming
the
out.
band.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier. What, 2 days ago? Anyway, we'll talk about that later. There's a big controversy behind making the band. They was trying to reunite, but it was a big
Say
argument.
we'll talk about it later.
Anyway,
Dylan is Prez's cousin.
okay.
All right, we'll be back, y'all.
Anyway, they don't get it. They're like, what?